Assalamu alaikum. The question is, why do we have a lot of intelligent, educated people around everywhere almost, but a lot of them are poor? This question makes a lot of sense to all reasonable people. But what I want us to understand is that the problem is not the intelligence. The problem is how the mind of these educated people is being structured. Structure and mindset is entirely a topic on its own. There is the pieces of information that kept coming since your birth. Okay, what your environment is saying, what your mother is saying, what your father is saying, what the neighbor is saying, all these things that has been said, how your teachers and everything that comes, in different directions. These are all information that in your subconscious mind are going to be part of the building blocks of your mental structure. So the problem is not the intelligence, the problem is how the mind has been programmed. So many people think that when you get educated, success follows automatically. But you have to understand that now, it's not like that. Success does not mean that you're educated, you become successful automatically. No. It's if you want to become a successful person, then you have to first of all look at how you think. You have to change the way you think. First to question, how do I think and what do I think about? Scrutinize yourself. Because you rich and poor, success and failure is all a result of way of thinking. So it's up to you to sit down and ask yourself, what am I thinking about? So critical, change your way of thinking. Okay, like give an example, a poor person has a way of mindset, has a way of thinking. He look at, you can be educated. If you have a poor mindset, you're afraid of taking risk. All right. Okay, you can be educated, you can be intelligent, but you always believe in the system that holds you back. So these are all poor mindsets. So a successful person, you have to know how successful people think. And if you want to know how they think, you have to first of all stay with them, read about lives, a lot about them, and find out all these pieces of information that are already making you to behave the way you behave, and replace them with a positive attitude, in a rich man's attitude. So it means you have to read about successful people background, and sit down with them, talk with them, and act in the way they act, because the body is the servant of the mind. When your mind is a successful mind and thinks about success, is very, up and doing like the way successful people do, automatically the environment and everything is going to answer, and you're going to be successful because you are doing exactly what successful people do. So it depends. And I always remind people about this. When we talk about success, we don't necessarily think about making more money. No. Money is part of success, but happiness is everything. Having a successful life, a life that resonates with your inner being, and you're happy doing what you're doing, and you're doing it exactly because that's what you choose to do, then you're already a successful person. So you have to understand that it's not about making more money or taking mental of leadership or things like that. That's success. No, it's about doing exactly what you're doing. We're not created to all be in the same platform, on the same position. Now, we are different people in different ways. So find out what is that thing that resonates with your inner being, and keep doing that, and you become successful and you're a very happy person. So, while poor mindset, breeds poverty of the mindset itself, and the pocket, and whatever. When a rich mindset, that's why you need to read, and you need to talk to rich people, read about the psychology of the rich people, how they act, what they do, and things like that. And slowly you are going to restructure your mindset. And like if you keep company with successful people, definitely you're going to be successful, because they talk about success, they don't talk nonsense. So that's it. You become what you think about.